Hey, this is Bill DeWeese with Long Strange Journey with another Reviews You Can Use. And this review is over a series of products because this is my first Christmas gift guide for the angler in your life. This video contains a series of products that are really standout products that I use on a regular basis and have found them to be really worth sharing, and they can really be a blessing to somebody in your life who fishes regularly, either kayak, fishing on foot, or fishing in a boat. And they may not have these items, and they give you some insights into something that has really good quality, good value, and might even have kind of a wow factor in that you are buying something for them that they might want but aren't willing to buy for themselves, which is always that sweet spot when you give a gift. So all these items are almost all the time with me on every fishing trip. These items are ones that I will be throwing a quarter in the cussing jar if I find out that I forgot them on the trip. And at the end, there's one of these items that I will literally turn my vehicle around and go back and get it if I forgot it on a particular fishing trip. So I hope these items help you in the selection process to get a great gift for the fisherman or fisherwoman who's on your list. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. And in a first item that will be a surprise to no one is I'm going to suggest the Danco Premio pliers. The Danco Premio pliers are a premium set of pliers by Danco, and they go by the name Premio, and you'll see these used by a number of different people. But actually, if you're like me, you might have been of the mindset that I don't need no stinking $100 pliers to catch fish, and I'm just going to worry about losing them if I had them. So I went for years using inexpensive, cheap pliers on the order of $20 to $40, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you have a cheap pair of pliers, you tend to treat them cheaply. Like you'll just lay them down on your boat somewhere and they get shoveled over the side and they're lost. And that happened to me a number of times. Well, a year and a half ago, that happened to me again. And my wife bought me the Danco Premio pliers, and I absolutely love these. And let me tell you why. One, if you got something of value, these are about $100 to $120 for this smaller inshore set of pliers. They make a bigger one, a longer one that's probably more oriented to larger fish and offshore fishing. These are a titanium. They have really great cutters and all of that. But there's a couple things that I'll tell you that are actually really sweet about these pliers, and it has really nothing to do with the pliers. One is this sheath. This sheath is different than your typical sheath that you'll get with pliers, in which the sheath is actually just a belt clip way of securing it, and your teeth stick out of the front here. It's very common to have that where the pliers go into a half sheath and these stick out. Not long after having the upholstery redone on my boat, I had a pair of pliers on there. They were basically the Danco Prodigies, and they used the cheaper half sheath. And a wave came along, knocked me back on my butt on my seat, and these teeth sticking out into the bottom poked a hole in my upholstery on my boat. And so I was really irritated, and I stopped putting them in the sheath, and then I promptly lost them. The other thing that I would say about besides this leather being a fantastic leather holster for this, and that leather covers the whole thing so that you're not going to damage anything on your boat. But also you have shock cord here in lieu of what is more traditionally a coil. This coil is highly annoying because all of your braid wraps around it. I get these things tangled all the time. I still keep these around. These are my older set I use this for, but you want to not have this coil. The shock cord is actually fantastic because it will keep this connected to your holster, and you will never let these out of your sight. You'll never let them off your hip. These don't come on and off real easily. You have to take your belt off, so these stay with you and they keep these pliers secure. I have had these pliers for over 18 months now. I do not rinse these pliers. These pliers have really never been rinsed, so these do not gum up and they do not get nasty. They have an excellent holster. that is perfect, and the shock cord. But these are fantastic everyday pliers. They are jewelry grade, but at the same time, they're very functional, and they have some features that make them well worth having. So that's the Danco Premio pliers. All right, so now onward and upward. Item number 2, these are handy. I'm an inshore fisherman who does mostly artificial lures, but I do frequently use live bait and cut bait. And these are the Gerber processors. These are the saltwater series. I would recommend the saltwater series unless you're going to do 100% freshwater, but you can even get rust around freshwater. So this is the Gerber saltwater, Gerber processors and the saltwater series. And these are fantastic. They are like upholstery shears for your kitchen for processing bait. And also you can use it for processing fish as you are cleaning them. And so these are fantastic. They do have a knife blade on the bottom here so that you can cut bait as if it were using a knife, and that's why it has this safety sheath here that puts it together. But these have a great grip, and they allow you to do most of your bait processing with scissors, which on a boat getting tossed around in the waves, it's much safer to use scissors than it is to use a bait knife, especially if that bait knife starts to get dull and you're really sawing away and you get bumped or you get jostled or you get knocked around in the waves. I've had this for about 18 months. I really love these. These come apart for super easy cleaning, and they have a great grip. So if your hands are wet, you don't have any problem with these. So much more safe to do this with a pair of scissors, but these do a really great job. They're sleek. They got a great beefy handle. They're not actually a bad price. I think these are under $50. I think they're more like $35. They are fantastic, so I highly recommend the Gerber processors, and this is the saltwater series. They actually have 2, a conventional one for freshwater, which isn't as corrosion resistant, and then they have this, and these are excellent. I highly recommend them. All right, so our third item on the list, and I've done a separate video on this. You can look back to my video history, and that is the Nokwa Yak Attack battery pack. This is a lithium battery pack. This is made by Nokwa, marketed by Yak Attack, but you can buy all the accessories through Nokwa, and they also have a Nokwa version of this. This is the 10 amp hour. They have a 20 amp hour as well for a little bit more. I'll put the link in the description. What's really cool about this is a couple things. One, this is a completely sealed unit. It's rubber coated. You cannot get access to the battery itself. The whole battery is completely sealed, and it's a 10 amp hour source that's much smaller. If you went to buy a conventional 10 amp hour battery that they fitted into a conventional battery form factor, it's going to be this big brick. It doesn't need to be that big with lithium. So this is an out of the box thinking, and it gets it down to just the size that you need. They use a waterproof connector system. So I also recommend the accessory for the dual USB. This is an excellent way for you to charge your GoPro, your mobile phone, all kinds of gadgets that you can use. I use this during the hurricanes for power outages, and you've got 2 charging capabilities. It's green now. It will turn yellow and it will turn red to let you know when you're running out. When you buy this battery pack, it will come with a pigtail that you can use to connect in any of your types of circuitry that you have. What you see here is I have a connection to a spare power cable for my Lowrance unit. This is actually how I power my Lowrance unit on the front of my boat when I move it up to the bow to fish. So I simply disconnect the waterproof connector from the USB ports if I'm not using them, and I connect this and lock it down. It's got a silicone seal, and now I can boot up my Lowrance. This pack goes right over the gimbal, and it stays off to the side. I can run my Lowrance for a day and a half on this 10 amp hour battery. There also are other accessories. Naqua sells a solar panel so that you can charge this in a remote location, and there's other things that there's the on-off inline on-off switch circuit that you can turn items on and off. So what's really cool about this is it's not just a battery, it's a system. It's a great system. So it's really cool to have this in your vehicle or in your house. This is an excellent gift idea for somebody who needs remote power and putting up with more than just charging a phone. And it's really super flexible. And again, there's a separate video in my video history on this where I did a review, and you can check that out if you want more information. This is the Yak Attack Naqua 10 amp hour lithium battery pack. Anyone who's fishing on a boat or on a kayak, but you can do all kinds of other versatile things with this, and that is the X-Grip by Ramball in the Ramball system. The X-Grip is actually a phone holder, and this is amazingly versatile. It has the locking mechanism so that you can secure the phone into the phone holder. You can pull this out, and it is super versatile. It is based upon the Ramball, which is a 1-inch ball for this size, and this is the second one. I have this for my wife on her bike, and this one, by the way, has everything is based upon a Ramball, so you can get numerous types of Ramballs that you can use, and this one is actually a handlebar, which also would work on a grab bar or around a center console of a boat. And I use this particular one on my boat. This is the suction cup, the same one I use in my truck on my windshield. And this has the 1-inch Ramball. It has a dog bone. There are short dog bones, there are long dog bones, and then you have the actual ball going in here, so you've got infinite, and you can adjust it very quickly. This is fantastic for in the car. And also, what I would add to this, if you were going to get this and you want to spice it up a little bit, is get one of these individual strapped cell phone holders. Make sure you get one that's not going to obscure the camera on the phone, but most of us fishermen love to take pictures of the fish that we catch. CPR, catch, photograph, and release. If you don't need to eat it and you don't want to kill it, you can save that fish for another day. We fish for a lot of fish that are in and out of season, in and out of slot, like snook, and other fish. So you want to just take a picture to show off that you caught that fish. This is a great way of, just as simple as this is holding it into the Ramball or the X-Grip. You can hold it into your phone into here and then have this connect this around your neck as a lanyard, and you got 2 of these, so you would kind of want to just make sure that you have your phone nice and secure. Most phones that we're using on the water nowadays are IP68, so they're waterproof, but you don't want to drop it overboard. I use this whenever I'm taking photographs, and I can make sure that I can get really aggressive with that photograph, and I can get my camera wet, but I'm never going to drop it overboard. There are some expensive ones of these. I like this one. Again, it does not have any coils. It's a straight rubber silicone strap, and it's got the thumb hook, so you can actually hold it if you're going to do something selfie mode or whatever. But this is actually a fantastic little gadget. This is from Amazon. I'll give you the link along with the links for the RAM. The X-Grip is an excellent way for you to bring your camera on the water in a secure way, mount it to various places on your boat using something like this. All right, the next thing on our list, certainly not the least, and that is a good landing net. I'm going to show you 2 nets. This is the Promar net. This is a floating fixed landing net. This is what I use on my kayak. If you have an avid kayak fisherman in your life and they do not have one of these are a fantastic gift. They work well. They float if you drop them in the water. They also have a elastic clip so that if you wade fish, you can clip this onto your belt and you can just let it go and it'll be next to you when you need it. This is from Promar. They have this come in different sizes. I'm a snook, redfish, trout fisherman. You might have one on your boat, but I highly, highly recommend getting a good quality folding net if you need spaces of a premium. I run a Maverick, and space is definitely a premium on my boat. This, as you can see by the age, I've had this as pretty much as old as I've had. It's one of the first things I got for my boat. So I actually used this landing net actually stays on my boat open on the floor. We walk all over this net all the time, but it's lying flat on the floor of my Maverick. You can step on it. You will not bend it. You will not hurt it. And it's ready at the go for any, but when I don't need it, this whole thing butterflies close, folds up, goes into the stow locker of my boat, and I'm ready to go home. And so this is really a versatile net. I've had this for a while, and this is the Stowmaster Saltwater series. There's a few others that make a nice folding net, but this one actually has been exceptional. Anybody who got one of these as a gift would really love it. And so it's kind of a thing that they may not buy themselves because it's a little bit more expensive, but it's a great gift giving idea if it's in your price range. I'll put a link to this in the description as well. All right, this next item is really cool, and it would be a great item for anybody who fishes on foot, but specifically and needs something compact. But it's really a great item for anybody who's chasing after those trophy fish, especially a snook. And this is the No Live Bait Needed. That's a company, and they make a number of different lures, but they make this really excellent snook ruler, which is a fish ruler, but you can it's targeted for snook. This is the No Live Bait Needed snook ruler. All kinds of conservation information to respect the fish and respect the harvest, but it has a really great layout, and it lays flat and rolls up. So this is excellent for anybody who is fishing on foot and needs to be able to, if they're going to have that opportunity, like on the beach here in the summertime in Florida, you could find yourself landing a 30-inch snook while you're walking the beach, or a 36 or a 38 or a 40-inch snook walking the beach. And this is a way to not have to lift that fish up and try to haul it around or try to find a place to measure it. This fits, as you see, it rolls up really small, stays in your backpack. You got the slob, the giant, the mega. I've got a 43-inch snook, and it's really a treat to be able to break these barriers with your personal best and be able to have a great way of measuring it. I've seen these in bait stores, but I ordered this one directly from No Live Bait Needed NLBM, and I put a link to this product, and it is just a fantastic way of having a ruler that's a measurement device, so that you can know whether or not if you're fishing for a slot snook, you know exactly. I've measured redfish on here just as fine. So I've had this on my boat. I love it because it's super, super compact. It's pretty sophisticated. It's made out of a durable, flexible material. And so this gets really small. And this measuring board is fantastic for somebody who's really on the hunt for that personal best snook, or to beat that personal best. I got a beat 43, and I'm still trying. No Live Bait Needed official big snook measuring board. This thing is freaking awesome. All right, so this is my second to my last item. This is the Turtle Box speaker. And I heard about this Turtle Box, and I just fell in love with this thing. It's not cheap, but it is fantastic. If you look at the marketing information from these guys, they really show this as being incredibly rugged. We've had this for over 6 months now. This puts out a powerful amount of sound. It is a fantastic, I put it, and you can see I got these NRS straps, cooler straps. I strapped this onto the tubing and have this up onto my polling platform. It provides just fantastic sound, and it will work in all settings, whether you're on plane or just chilling out. And you got great sound. You got a power supply. You can run 2 of these as a primary or a left channel, right channel, and they put out an enormous amount of sound. Even if that weatherman lies, it's gonna be a good day. Gonna be a good. So this is the Turtle Box. This thing is awesome. This is pretty much, if I like the solitude of nature, but also when you're making those long runs to the reef, or you're just chilling out on the sandbar or the beach with your wife or your kids, this thing is a really great item to have. And I've yet to see one built as nice as this. There are waterproof speakers, but they are not always salt waterproof. Even though they can get wet, they can't get around salt water. You get galvanic corrosion. I've had some from other companies in which the speaker worked great, but you can no longer charge it because all of the electronic connections for the charger are eaten up with saltwater corrosion. This has an O-ring seal-based system, locks down super tight. You cannot get water in there. Everything else is sealed. Rinse this off like a fishing reel when you're done at the end of the day. The whole thing is waterproof. I love the turtle box. It's one of the best things I've added to my boat this year. All right, so I mentioned at the outset of this video that these are things that I use on a regular basis, that I've been using actively on my boat for well over a year in many cases. Some of these have been around for almost 4 years now, and some of these I've added this year, but I've had some real time under the belt with these things. But I did mention to you there's one thing that I will literally turn my boat around and go back and get if I forget it, and that is a great pair of sunglasses. You cannot ask me to go fishing in Florida without sunglasses. I have been a purveyor of prescription sunglasses for well over 15, if not 20 years. I've had a number of different prescription sunglass brands. I currently use a progressive prescription sunglass from Smith. I absolutely love these. If you can give a gift certificate for somebody who needs prescription sunglasses where they might not otherwise buy them because they are expensive, or if you can use off the shelf because you use contact lenses, these are fantastic. I love this brand. I've used a number of different brands, and these are the ones that I actually have just really fell in love with. This is the Guide's Choice frames. And very specifically, the Chroma Pop lenses. I got an inshore lens. What I find with these is you don't just get the darkening of sunglasses or the polarization, you also get really fantastic color separation. So you can see different colors of green, different colors. When I first started, are fantastic. This is my oldest frames here, and you can see how these frames snap. They snap in, they snap out. They have not worn out in 2 years. They're still like really crisp in their operation. This is Guide's Choice, is a really beefy frame. These are not going to break on you very easily. And again, they stay. I take really good care of my glasses. I'd rather lose my eyeglasses than lose my sunglasses. That's how much I use and love my sunglasses. And so these are fantastic. If you have an opportunity to help somebody upgrade to a quality pair of sunglasses, it makes a huge difference on the water, and it would certainly be a blessing to receive something like that as a gift. And that actually is the completion of my list. So I hope this list gives you some ideas and gives you some ways that you can really bless the fisherman or fisherwoman in your life, and you can help them buy something that they may not buy for themselves, but will really enjoy something like this. If there's a varied price ranges that I've provided, and I'll put all these links down into the video description. So hopefully this is a review that you can use, and it helps you out in your Christmas shopping. And Merry Christmas. Thank you very much for watching.